just an arrow from a never get my booty power.
Greetings and welcome to my channel, Voice of the Convict. We are live out of Central America. Today I'm going to discuss certain books to educate yourself with as soon as possible, especially if you're out on bond pending a conviction and pretrial, potentially facing prison time. So I'm going to go over a few books to educate yourself on. The most informative book of all is going to be The Art of War by Sun Tzu. It takes a deep, thorough understanding of different aspects of war and warrior-like capabilities that you can apply in the prison system to protect and defend yourself. The Art of War contains 13 chapters, each detailing specific lines of indirect and direct attack to use in different circumstances of conflict and war. Sun Tzu explains the importance of being prepared. If you're always prepared, you don't got to get prepared. So he points out 5 essential elements of war: moral influence, weather, terrain, command, and doctrine. These are important aspects of warfare when serving time in prison in the penitentiary. You have to utilize everything you can while you're in there for self-defense, offense, and just everything, and a lot of things are covered in there. How to utilize your enemies against your main enemies, and this is something you're probably going to need to read multiple times. It don't take no more than a couple hours to read this book. You can find online copies of it. You can find it in audiobook format. When reading these books that I'm going to list, it's always good to have a pen and paper to take notes and to thoroughly think about it, what exactly it is you're reading. Research different aspects of what's being discussed. That way you can go over it, run it through your mind over and over. It's a good idea to read the books multiple times, though, because that way it kind of sticks in your brain, and you really don't forget too much of it if you read it 5-6 times. Okay, so second on the list is going to be a rather important book also. It is going to be The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. Just to summarize the book, we'll go over a few things. For instance, law of irrationality. You need to master your emotional self. Law of narcissism. Turn self-love into empathy. 3. Law of role-playing. See through people's masks. 4. Law of compulsive behavior. Know people's characters. And 5. Law of covetousness. Be an elusive object of desire. 6. Law of short-sightedness. That means elevate your perspective. 7. Law of defensiveness. Confirm people's self-opinion. Number 8. Law of self-sabotage. Your attitude shapes your situation. 9. Law of repression. Confront your dark side, such as things of revenge or avenging, violence, and things of that nature. 10. Law of envy. Beware of the fragile ego. There's a lot of people out there that are very envious of what others have, and you just need to just read that part, because people like to be spiteful and hateful. And 11. Law of grandiosity. Know your limits. You don't want to get big-headed. Once you start obtaining power, possibly in the system, you don't want to get big-headed about things and just start kind of romping on people for no reason. I've seen a lot of people fall down because of that, lose control of things and so forth. So, okay, so number 12 would be law of gender rigidity. Reconnect your masculinity or femininity. It means, you're man, woman, whoever. If you're in men's prison, you're a man. So, I don't know. But the next one would be 13, law of aimlessness. move with a sense of purpose. It means don't just go out and blindly do things based solely on emotion. Women have a tendency to do this. And number 14, law of conformity. Resist the group's downward pull. Um, don't be stuck to one central idea. Learn how to be fluid. 15, law of fickleness. Make them want to follow you. You got to kind of keep a charismatic attitude about yourself when you are trying to have people fall under your command. Law of aggression. See the hostility behind the friendly facade. It's like they say, betrayal, it can only come from within. It will not come from outside of your group. So you need to understand that before directing people and things. Law of generational myopia. Seize the historical moment. That means kind of like people who are culturally, historically inclined to move in a certain direction based on their culture or heritage. Law of death denial. Uh, Contemplate common mortality. We all die, and none of us are invincible. It does not matter how many weights you lift, or how many weapons you have. It does not matter. We all die. We're not invincible. There's always someone out there who can defeat us. And with that being said, we'll move on to the next book and go from there. Book number 3 on the list is Miyamoto Musashi's Book of the Five Rings. Musashi teaches that you need to have perspective and understand your rivals inside and out. If you know him better than he knows you, there should be no reason why you would not win in an encounter with your enemy. You should really know their mind and be able to predict their next move and be prepared for it. This is very much an excellent book because it utilizes different warfare tactics on many different perceptions, such as there's 4 different types of people. You have the farmer, the soldier, the merchant, and can't remember what the other one is, but if you get into it, you'll kind of understand those different types of people are able to be utilized in warfare because they're in key infrastructure points within a system. So this is a good book to read. I would highly recommend reading this, but I'm kind of putting these books in order of priority, so just check them out. And most of these books are available online for free. I know that you can find most of them in text format or even PDF. A lot of the colleges host websites with rough copies of the books. Another interesting topic, not really a book or anything, is to kind of study how to make prison hooch or pruno, prison wine, whatever. Um, Generally, you can make this out of fruits and stuff, sugar and things like that. Best thing to do is to research and develop a couple different methods, depending on what types of fruits and foods and things like that are available, whatever units you may be going to. This you're able to sell and make profit if you don't have anybody on the outside taking care of you. So that's just something to kind of look into, study up on. It's a big thing. So okay, so another thing we'll go over is the last book on the list, and that's going to be another Robert Greene book called The 48 Laws of Power. This is a book that you're going to want to read in depth multiple times. Potentially get a audio book off of Audible, listen to it as much as you can. The most important laws I'm going to go over, just kind of summarize them. These are things that will keep you from getting in trouble or things like that. But okay, so number one, you're going to have never outshine the master. And number two, don't trust friends, use enemies. Three, mask your intentions. Four, protect your reputation. Five, always say less than necessary. Six, court attention at all costs. It means pay attention to people who are talking to you. And, when you act interested in someone, they're more likely to become an ally because a lot of people don't listen to one another these days. Win through action, not argument. That means don't be a talker. You're going to get down to business, get down to business. Let others work and take the credit. That kind of means like if somebody does something and it's thought highly upon whoever did it, let them accept the credit for it. Don't ever try to take credit for another person's work or anything. Make yourself indispensable. Another one is make people come to you. Feign honesty and generosity. Stay away from losers. Appeal to selfishness, not virtue. It means if there's money out there to get, go get it. Don't worry about everybody else. Gather intelligence. That's another one that's important. You always need to know what's going on around you. Always keep your head on a swivel at all times. Know your opponents. Know who they associate with. Crush your enemy totally. Use absence to raise your value. Stay unpredictable. Never threaten nobody is what that means. It's like don't make threats. Don't let your enemies know what you're going to do. Don't let your friends. Don't let nobody know what you're going to do. Just make moves. Don't isolate yourself. I mean, stay out of secure housing unit. Don't go to the hole. That does take a big toll on your mental mentality. Keep your independence. Surrender to recover. Let your victims feel smarter. Create your own identity. Be a masterful courtier. Concentrate your forces. Act with boldness. Keep your hands clean, which means, if you can, subcontract work out. Hire other people to do things for you, like wash clothes and things like that. Always seem effortless, like things are simple and easy to do for you. Create a cult-like following. Control the options. Find your rival's weaknesses. That goes back to gathering intelligence. Plan until the end. Master the art of timing. Play to people's fantasies. A lot of people, they watch a lot of TV and crap that comes out of Hollywood. So if you can find out what kind of books they read, what kind of movies they watch, and just play into those types of things, those subjects, educate yourself on what they're reading, what they watch, their interests, pretend to be like them. That's same thing as mirroring. You pick up people's habits that you're around. Act like a king to become one. Ignore what you can't have. It's kind of like, the pretty girl syndrome. She acts like she's the best on the planet and nobody can get her because every time somebody is attracted to something, they seem to scare it away. So, you just kind of ignore what you want and it usually comes to you. Don't fill a great man's shoes. Create compelling spectacles. despise the free lunch. That generally means when someone is offering something to you for nothing, there's usually something behind that. That's a big thing in prison. You got to be very. Another thing you got to look at is stir up water to catch fish. Um, that means kind of just create a little bit of chaos to see what you can develop, because sometimes situations just get locked in and remain consistent. So, you throw in a little bit of chaos. Um, it just kind of stirs things up, makes new opportunities. Strike the opponent's leader. Um, Generally, when you do this, there's always someone in a rival group who wants to be the leader above the current leader. So, this gives them room to move in, so you can utilize those people like that to kind of um, get rid of your opponent. Maybe they have a couple ideas similar to yours, and then so win both hearts and minds. Uh, Introduce change gradually. Uh, means you don't want to put too much change in all at once. Uh, Implementing new rules and stuff. You give too many rules that are new, people are more than likely not going to remember them. Don't seem too perfect. That's important. People have a tendency to get pissed off when you try to talk or speak intelligent. Uh, they just get real spiteful about that. If you seem like you know too much, people get agitated with that. I don't know why. Use the mirror effect. That's pretty much like mimic those that are around you, so y'all can all get on the same thought process, have the same ideas and things. Don't push too far in victory. Uh, and prime example I've seen about that is like people brag too much about whooping somebody, and then whoever you whoop, their friend gets pissed off, or someone they associate with, and then last of the 48 laws would be assume formlessness. Um, that's kind of like, just get in the habit of talking to everybody and associating with everybody politically. You know, do business with who you want to. There's different prisons, they break down business by race, things like that, but that's not always the case in different states you go to. So I know California and Texas, that's a big thing, so you just got to watch out for that. Well, folks, that's about it. I'm going to shut this down for tonight. We'll move on to another topic at some other point this week, put out a new video, and I hope this was informative. Just remember, always be prepared so you don't have to get prepared, and stick stick to it, and you'll make it through it. Y'all have a good one.